Okay, so I think we'll start. I've got a poem for you this morning that I haven't read before. It's by John O'Donoghue. I think I've read one of his before, and I must look at and investigate his poetry. And we're going to be doing the self-care meditation this morning. So this is very relevant to that. Yeah, sorry, being distracted by the comment. So here we go anyway. In out of the way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, the beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you are ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the grey promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure, hold nothing back, learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses that the world awaits you. Wow. So that really chimes with me. We're not who we think we are. We have this, our mind, our thoughts tell us that we are this particular person with particular faults, particular weaknesses, that we have limited potential, that we need to be careful, that we need to be safe. And yet underneath all that, there is something just waiting to break out, our true selves, that is not affected by negative thinking, our true selves that are ready and have vast potential, if only we could let them be free. So we need to let go of this preconception of who we are, this limiting idea of who we are. We need to be a friend to ourselves to help us break free. We need to help our inner child feel safer, able to take on this path and to walk towards liberation. We need to help our inner child grow up and mature. And we need to somehow silence our inner critic, to soothe this voice that holds us back inside. And if we can do all that, we break through into new territory. We break through into a happier life, free of the curmudgeonly attitudes to our present being. I love that word, curmudgeonly. But we are, aren't we? We are curmudgeonly to ourselves and to others. We're negative. And if we could just be more positive, then the world will open up for us. And we'll find true happiness. And this true self is there waiting to be released, waiting to be uncovered. And what we need to do is to stand back and see what we do to ourselves, see the negative influence that we put upon ourselves, and somehow allow that to go. So maybe this meditation will help in that goal to do that. Okay. Good morning, Philippa. Good to see you too. Okay, so let's get on with the meditation. I've talked enough. So if you'd like to get comfortable, if you're not already are, you can do this meditation lying in bed, lying on the bed, lying on the floor, sitting on a chair, or sitting on a cushion or stool, whatever suits you. So just being comfortable to begin with. And being kind to your body, making sure your body is easy and comfortable. And we begin, as always, by just taking stock. How are you this morning? How are you mentally and emotionally? Are you feeling good or not so good? Positive or a bit negative? Happy or grumpy? And in a way, it doesn't matter. Even if you're feeling really angry and really irritated and grumpy and fed up or frightened, that's okay. It's all right to feel like that. You don't need to stop feeling like that in some way. Just need to accept that that's how we are. That's where we're starting from. So beginning with a kindly attitude to ourselves, to however we are, particularly if we're feeling a bit negative or anxious. Kindness to the whole of our being, just softening to who we are. And how are we physically? What's our body like? Our poor body that works so hard for us. How is it this morning? Maybe comfortable or uncomfortable? Feeling good or achy, or some other such state? Just having a sense of kindness to our body, however it is. Accepting it as it is. Even if the body we have is not the body we'd like. Even if our own self-image is different to the way we actually look. Just somehow accepting that our body is what we have. Our body is okay. Having a sense of kindly acceptance. And just noticing the breathing in the upper body. The lungs expanding every time we breathe in, pushing out the ribcage, pushing out the chest and the upper back. Filling our whole body with life-giving breath. And then the out-breath of relaxation, letting go each time. This rhythm of the breath, always there, always working without any effort from ourselves. So just letting the breath come and go as it wishes. And if you have a tendency to try and control it or tighten the chest because you're noticing the breath. Just allow that to relax. Just breathe into any tightness in the body. Each time you breathe out, just allowing the shoulders to drop and tension to drop away through the body. The next 25 minutes, you have nothing to do. You don't have to be anybody in particular. And moving our attention now down to the bottom of the rib cage, right in the center. Inside the body here, just behind the rib cage, is our heart center, right in the middle of the chest. This is where our emotions reside, particularly our positive emotions, our emotions of love and kindness. Can you feel anything in the heart center? And if you can't, just bringing to mind somebody that you really love. Maybe a person or an animal, somebody that you're really fond of. And just seeing if something arises in the heart center. Not trying too hard, just relaxing, seeing what happens. If there is any sensations of love and kindness, of joy, just allowing that to be there and to grow, not trying to force anything. Just allowing any sensations of love to permeate through the body. Just relaxing, always relaxing. So we begin this meditation by turning towards ourselves and our idea of who we are. Our thoughts about how we could be better. Our thoughts about how we would like to be different. Can we let those go? Because they're not helpful. Can we just rest in a sense of kindness and love without having opinions and views? Just being in this space, in the present moment, which is perfectly fine, perfectly safe. free of any problems or dissatisfaction. Just following the sensations in our bodies, noticing the heart center. Maybe casting a kindly gaze on ourselves. So maybe you're managing to do that, or maybe you aren't. Doesn't matter. But this is what we're aiming at. Allowing our thoughts to drop away and just resting with kindness in the present moment. And we probably need help in order to do this. We probably need a best friend, a really, really good friend. And that good friend is always present, actually. That good friend is ourselves. Somewhere deep inside, we are our own good friend, our own best friend. Deep inside, we know what's best for us. We know what's true. So can we allow our own best friend to emerge? You might call our best friend awareness, a kind of objective awareness that can stand back and see what we're doing, see the suffering and the pain we cause ourselves with our negative thoughts. Can we find this best friend and allow them to help us, allow them to support us, allow them to be with us when times are hard, allow them to encourage us and love us and care for us, just like any best friend. This best friend can stand apart from our negative thoughts, from our negative feelings, and reassure us that it's not really like that. This best friend can love us when we need love and hold us when we need to be held. So can we open up to this best friend within? In this stage, we're going to seek out our vulnerable bits. Just try and acknowledge the parts of ourselves that are anxious, a bit frightened of the world, the parts of ourselves that sometimes don't feel up to it, don't feel brave enough or good enough or strong enough to deal with what's happening around us. And we might see this part of us as a small child, our own small child that perhaps is a hangover from our actual childhood. This small child within us that often feels insecure and frightened and worried about being good enough. Sometimes this small child wants to run away, go and hide, or get angry and fight. But it's just frightened. So can we look after this small child within, just as we'd look after any small frightened child, or any small frightened animal? Can we look after the tiny frightened being within? Can we give him or her love and reassurance? Can we support our inner child? Maybe hold his or her hand. Hold them close. Reassure them. Most of all, can we help our inner child to grow and mature so that they're not frightened any longer? But in order for them not to be frightened anymore, they need lots of love, lots and lots of love and care and holding. So can we do that? And keeping hold of our inner child's hand, carrying on holding them close. We're going to meet our inner voice now, our inner critic. This part of us that constantly criticizes what we do, tells us that we're not good enough, tells us that we should be better than we are. Well, this inner critic may seem very harsh, and it may seem to be speaking the truth. But actually, this inner critic is also like the small child, just frightened, just scared stiff that we won't be good enough. And it really, although it seems harsh, our inner critic is really wants the best for us, really wants us to be okay in the world, to be safe. So can we soothe our inner critic and let it know that actually it's all right. We're going to make mistakes. We're not perfect, and that's okay. Can we let our inner critic know that it doesn't have to worry? We are perfectly all right in all our imperfections. We're just doing our best in the world, just like everybody else, and that's enough. So can we love our inner critic as well? Soothe it, help it to feel safe, and not believe what it says. So now taking in the whole of ourselves again and reminding ourselves that we're not who we think we are. We're not the person that we have this particular view of. Inside there is vast potential. We just have to release it. We just have to allow it to emerge. And we do that by supporting ourselves, by being our own best friend, being there for ourselves when times are difficult, always positive, always encouraging. There is a part of us that is always there, that is our own best friend. Can we find it? And this best friend is the same as the adult who can look after our frightened child within. Take care of him or her. Help them to grow and feel safe. And this best friend is also what can help our inner critic. It's the voice, it's the other voice inside that can still the criticisms and carpings of our inner critic, can make our inner critic feel safe. This good friend within has the capacity to stand back and see that we cause ourselves hurt and pain, and to help us not to do that, to help us to be more positive, to help us to see ourselves with kindness and love. There is nobody in the world who is perfect, and that's not even desirable. The thing that makes us who we are is our imperfections, our particular personality, our particular character. We don't need to be perfect. We just need to be who we are, and to stop striving to be something different to who we are. Just resting in our own uniqueness. So we are not alone in this. And so in the last part of this meditation, just acknowledging that everybody else in the world, every single one of the 7.8 billion beings in the world, all feels very much like we do. They all feel that they're not good enough. They all feel that they maybe not up to it sometimes. Every person in the world is frightened of not fitting in. So as well as reaching out to ourselves with kindness and love, can we also reach out to every other human being in the world with kindness and love, knowing that they too struggle sometimes. They too find it hard. And they too are okay, just like we are. We're okay just as we are. Well, I hope that was helpful. And I would just encourage you during the day to remember to call upon your own best friend and to look after the small child within, and to not believe what the inner critic tells you, and just soothe the inner critic and allow it to settle and take care of ourselves. It's really important. We don't have to be any different how we are. And that actually is the key to growing, to being different, to changing. If we can just accept ourselves as we are, then we will change and we will grow. But as long as we impose negative ideas about ourselves, that would be very difficult. So just opening up to being who we are, and that's being okay. So welcome to Mahendra Kumar, who joined us later. Good to see you. And Joanne's here. So thank you, everybody. It's a delight to be with you. Thank you for turning up and being with me for this. And I'll be back again tomorrow at 7 o'clock with a different meditation. We're going to do a meditation that is helpful towards anxiety and when we don't feel good. It's a meditation that can help to calm us down, to help us to settle a little bit more. And it's based on breathing, but it's not one that we've done before. So I just wanted to, seeing as this particular day is so popular, I just wanted to continue it a bit in a different way, looking at how we can, another way that we can calm ourselves down when we're feeling a bit agitated. So do turn up tomorrow if you can, and see you then. But have a good day, and stay safe and look after yourselves. Nice to see you. Lots of love to you all. Bye.